earlier we were talking about the Another Block hoodie. So Another Block is a startup we did a few podcast episodes for under Another Block Studios.
More than a few.
And more than a few. We did
Quarter of a
20,
century.
24, 25 episodes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So I've actually, there's this song which has come out and it's called Heart on My Sleeve. And it's a collab between Drake and The Weeknd. So pretty big artists, right?
Yeah.
Except it wasn't. It was deepfaked using AI, which is really interesting. So the song's actually pretty good.
Can I listen to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've got it right here.
Here we go. Oh yeah, there's The Weeknd. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I was listening to this and I actually think it's getting genuinely hard to tell that it's made by AI.
I mean, it sounds terrible. Like the audio quality is bad. Like the production value, so the actual sounds themselves are really bad, but the composition is good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you can imagine that made in a studio with that AI. You know, you can still tell that it's AI, but if you weren't paying attention, so I did this while I was doing something else, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually really good." And then it turned out it was made by AI. So Universal Music Group, which is home to both Drake and The Weeknd, jumped on this very quickly and shut it down for breach of intellectual property.
Yes, and that's why I'm listening to it on someone's channel called Tom Snow, who's got
That's right.
89 subscribers.
Yeah, that's right. So, and it's probably not going to be there by the time the episode's posted.
That's right.
So it was on streaming services.
Really?
And, yeah. So someone had uploaded it to Spotify under their name and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was a proper, artist for this. But it definitely opens up a huge amount of possibility for people creating these deepfakes of content and falsely representing the artist in that music. So that was Universal Music Group that has shut that down. So yeah, obviously very big power there, but super interesting because I think they'll have a lot more of that to do. And I think it'll be interesting to see other people not being able to shut down as much because I think a lot more independent producers and things like that, they could get deepfaked and they don't have the legal power to shut down, or it'll take months to get it off delisted, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Universal probably has a whole huge legal team.
And it would also be this, like practically speaking, it would also just be the sway they have in Spotify. They'd have a guy that they can just go straight to and be like, hey, just take it down.
Yeah, exactly.
And it will get taken down.
Yeah. They don't have to revert to policy and put through the request and all that kind of thing like a lot of people would. So I've got a second story which is related to that. So Grimes, who's a artist, singer, songwriter, producer, DJ, and Elon Musk's ex-girlfriend,
that's right.
mother of one of his children, XAA-XII Musk. She has a very interesting new take on AI. And it's actually as a response to this article which came out, which is really cool. So Grimes will split 50% royalties with someone who uses her voice, AI, and her team are making a program that'll actually make this split work. So it's a platform which will allow for the collection and payout of royalties, and you actually register your creation through this new platform. And then she'll also be using crypto to collect and pay out royalties, which is really cool.
Okay, and so her contribution is simply her voice, and you can take that and use it. Oh, so interesting. It's actually a little bit relevant to what I'm going to talk about as well. So keep going.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, well, basically, the thing is, I think you will be, if you're the artist name, then you'll be creating it and putting it out there, and then you'll be collecting the royalties and splitting them with her, I guess.
In the same way that you would do it if she was the vocalist on your track, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So I suppose that's how that works. And then I guess this whole system is just, I won't sue you for doing this, you know? So,
well, that's right. It's putting probably some contract in place that makes it legally legit.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And then I guess also creators could possibly make something that she could release and then they would get paid. I'm not sure if it would go that way or not.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm sure if they prove themselves and they release something, feat Grimes or whatever, and then she thought it was actually good, I'm sure they'd reach out and collab for sure. It'd be a cool way to find decent collabs.
Yeah, so it's pretty sick. It's a perfect example of the opposite of what Universal did with Drake and The Weeknd. So it's really embracing that, and I think it's a really good and really bad idea at the same time. So it's really cool because it allows you to share IP. It creates a huge amount of new music for Grimes, which makes people actually listen to more of her music that's actually produced by her. Makes more people like more deepfake music with her in it as well, and then that will grow popularity. It could easily massively boost the popularity of the artist. The downside is people making terrible music with your AI voice. And the brand reputation that comes with that. So imagine someone takes our podcast and starts giving out bad financial advice or something like that.
It's literally the same as like the Hermes thing that I was talking about the other week. It's like one of their claims was dilution of brand, and it's the same thing. Like this arrangement that you're talking about, it sorts out the intellectual property stuff, but it doesn't, as you say, it does nothing for her, the goodwill that's associated with her brand, which is Grimes. And so it's the same thing. Like Hermes could do the same thing. They could be like, oh, all right, instead of suing people, we're just going to let you use our branding, and that's all well and good, but they're not going to be selling any more $5,000 handbags.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So you kind of have to protect your brand image, but at the same time, if you don't take yourself too seriously, I don't think it matters too much. Either way, depends on your point
We'll
of view,
see.
I guess.
We'll see.
Third and final story of the day.
Yeah.
Apple is getting into banking.
Do they still make cars?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that'll be a couple of years down the track, I'm sure. So this is actually something I heard about 3 or 4 years ago, and I didn't realize it was still going ahead, which is really cool. So Apple was developing, it might have even been longer than that, because Apple was developing a joint credit card with Goldman Sachs. And what they're launching now is a joint effort with Goldman Sachs as well. So I wonder if that was just their initial idea or if this is a continuation of that. So they have a new 4.15 APY bank account, which is a savings account. And so 4.15%.
Which is really high.
Yeah, it's very good. For Australia, it's about what a fair few savings accounts are offering at the moment. For the US, it's apparently 3 times the national rate, so that's pretty good. And all you need to do to get that is to get an Apple credit card. So that's part of the reason, part of the incentive, I guess. So this was, obviously a joint effort with Goldman Sachs, who they did the deal with. And so in the US, you'll be able to set up the credit card and savings account. I don't think it's available here. And you'll be able to set it all up through the Apple Wallet, which is really cool. So the card works through MasterCard, and I believe the money is in a Goldman Sachs branded bank account. So that'll be whose sort of credit license, I guess, they're using. So I think this is an insanely good move from Apple because they're already so massive and it's so hard to deploy all that cash. They're currently sitting on 135 billion in cash, and their total asset value is 352 billion. So essentially, on their balance sheet, they've got over a third of it sitting in cash. Not much to do with it. Lend it out and make a bit on it. But I'm not 100% sure if they count as the lender or if Goldman Sachs counts as the lender and then they are just a pass-through service. And Goldman are the ones that are sourcing that liquidity and doing all of that banking in the background. Or even if there is an additional bank where it's going to. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens there because especially in light of the Silicon Valley Bank collapsing and a few of those other third-tier banks, this will take away heaps of that competition in that banking sector because a lot of people have an iPhone, and if they can just do all of their banking on their iPhone, then that'll save a lot of time. As well as that, in the US, I think it's not as advanced as Australia with all their banking, so they have heaps of. It's very difficult to transfer money and do things like that.
Cash there.
That's right, and it's they use checks and cash a lot, and transferring from your bank. It's almost like you have to log in, you have to transfer. It takes multiple days, or sometimes you can't even transfer. You got to use Venmo and Cash App and stuff like that. So yeah.
Is it possible that, and this is just pure speculation of someone who, again, really doesn't really know what they're talking about, but is it possible that the agreement could have been something along the lines of Apple basically enables it from a tech perspective, as you said, so they facilitate the actual transaction to happen or the process to happen, the product. And then it, as you say, it all goes through Goldman Sachs. And then is it possible that on the back end of that, then they create a product that then can be like the debt can then be basically like created as a product and then given to Apple or bought by Apple or whatever you want to call that. And
Exactly.
so there's almost like a few transactions happening.
Yeah, so that would be securitization. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like I
that's
wonder
quite
if that's possible. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, they could package it all up into a bond.
Yeah, and the agreement is basically like, we'll help you facilitate all of these new credit facilities through your bank account, but you have to guarantee that we get access. We're the only exclusive access to that bond product that you're creating or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Yeah. They're also adding a buy now, pay later solution. So that'll crush the entire industry, I think, of startups already doing this.
Yeah.
So in Australia, we've got Zip Money, we've got Afterpay, we've got what else is there? There's Klarna.
Yeah.
In the US, there's a few different solutions as well. So I think that whole industry, if Apple can write some code to quickly implement that, you've just lost all of those startups to Apple, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if they would roll up anything and just take their teams and rebrand or something.
Exactly. Pivot.
Interesting.
Yeah, or maybe they'll continue to be successful. I don't know. But yeah, competing with Apple is definitely rough.
Yeah, no idea. Are you struggling to get your name out there? Do you want to attract more customers? Maybe just increase your revenue? Well, look no further than Newnique. They're an all-in-one marketing agency, and they'll help take your business to the next level. They believe in marketing that should be both effective and enjoyable, and I tend to agree. So they offer a range of services such as web design, branding, social media management, and lead generation. The team of experts, they'll work with you to develop a tailored marketing strategy that fits the unique needs of your business. And they don't just stop at making you look good, but they're specialized in setting up lead generating machines. Their top secret methods will help you capture and convert your leads, leading to increased sales and revenue for your unique business. So search NEW NIQ UE on Google to learn more and schedule a free marketing consultation via their website. So let Newnique take your business to the next level.
Index is a tech-focused recruitment platform passionate about scaling your engineering team, maintaining 95% placement success. To date, they've vetted over 8,000 developers, boasting on average more than 7 years experience across their recruits. Index supplies talent to industry-leading clients such as Omio, a German unicorn that's raised almost $500 million USD, Perforce, a US-based leading DevOps solutions provider with over $300 million USD in annual revenue, and many others, some of which are backed by firms such as Goldman Sachs and Y Combinator. So if you're struggling to find the right talent, concerned about high employee costs and staff turnover, Index has the solution for you. Through comprehensive assessments, in-depth interviews, and a robust vetting process, Index can provide your business with the very best international tech talent in less than 7 business days. For contracts greater than 6 months, Index is offering a 10% discount to HQLA fans the next time you hire using their platform.